Hey, what's up guys, this is Hisdream. Today in this video we will fix the pelvis, the foundation of your posture. We will focus on all directional movements of the pelvis, yes, all directions, and also balance out the unique imbalance that you will find. The first direction of the pelvis is moving forward. Get in a lunge position like me, and before we start moving our pelvis forward, we want to suck in our lower belly. You want to suck it in and then move forward. You feel nice stretch in your iliopsoas. And also lift up your hands to increase the stretch on this side. You want to keep the soft contraction in your lower belly. Then the opposite side, slightly pull in your lower belly and move your pelvis forward. You can also raise your hands to increase the stretch. The point is keeping the contraction in your lower belly and then move your pelvis forward. Our second direction of the pelvis is moving backwards. With our hands we want to poke into this area and slightly bend our knees and move our hips backwards. And feel a nice stretch in the posterior chain of the lower body. It's important that you keep the spine neutral like this, not overextended or rounded. You want to keep it in a neutral position. Try to move the hips as far as possible to the back. For those advanced or later on, after you have practiced this motion, you can also keep your knees straight and move your hips forward like this. Let's start first with the knees bent. Now we will compare forward movement and backward movement, which feels tighter, which is shorter, and we will do two more balances for that side. If you don't feel a difference, we'll just do one set for the front, which are actually two sets because it's left and right, and one set to the back. Our next direction is moving to the left. We're going to stand in shoulder width, and from there we'll move our hips to the left. You can also use your hands slightly to push your pelvis to this direction. You feel a nice stretch on your side obliques a bit, and also on the side of your pelvis in your tensor fasciae latae. Try to move the pelvis as far as possible to the left. Our next direction, yes, to the right. Move your hips to the right. You're standing shoulder width. And with your hand, this is a guide to push your pelvis to the right. Feel a nice stretch on the side obliques, also on the side of your pelvis with the TFL, tensor fasciae latae, and also iliotibial band, and so on. We'll just focus on direction. Muscle names and the anatomy is not important. We'll focus on direction, because if you focus on direction, every detail will be covered. Now we'll compare left and right, which feels tighter, which is shorter. We'll do two more balancing for that shorter side. If you don't feel much of a difference, just do one set for the left and for the right. Now we're here for rotation. As for rotation is a bit different from fixing the cervical spine, the thoracic spine, and also the lumbar spine, but it's not left and right rotation, but it's internal rotation and external rotation. First we're going to go for internal rotation, the glute stretch. Get in this position like me, putting your right feet in front of you, and just lie over the leg. You will feel a nice stretch on your right glutes. Don't overdo yourself, time will increase the range of motion. And one set more for the left side. Just comfortably lie over your left leg. Our next movement is external rotation of the pelvis. Put your feet together like this. And you want to stretch out the adductors, the internal muscles of your pelvis, and we want to slightly bend forward. This will increase the stretch that is felt in the inner thigh, in the middle of your pelvis, the internal rotators. Now we want to compare internal rotation, external rotation. Which feels tighter, which is shorter? We'll do 2 more balance sets for that shorter and tighter side. If you don't feel much of a difference, just do 1 set for the internal rotation and for the external rotation. And remember, for the internal rotation, we have to do 2 sets because it's left and right. This is the overall stretch for the internal rotators, external rotators, also hip flexor, hip extensor. So this movement is just amazing to fix your pelvis. Just stay in this position and try to press with your elbows, press out your knees slightly. And it's okay if you bend your back because it's just natural. The thoracic spine, the back has innatively a cathodic curve. So it's just natural if you bend forward with your back. Stay in this position and feel how the hips are stretched all along. You don't feel the sensation in your everyday life because it's the gravity and all the modern life movements. They're a great cause of imbalance to your musculoskeletal system. Now we will stretch, reverse it with these nice movements. Perfectly well done, guys. The pelvis is the center and also foundation of the whole body. Do these movements daily and steadfastly, and I hope to see you again.